Welcome, everybody, to the all-new Fresh Towels podcast. I'm your host, Mark Jagarjian. Some call me Jiggy. You can call me Mark or Jiggy, whatever you'd like. Welcome to the show. We spared no expense with the logo. I made it in 35 seconds. What are we going to be talking about on this show? Great question. And we're going to be figuring it out a lot together. Fresh Towels, I travel quite a bit. So I'm on the road. I'm doing stuff on the road for comedy. I come back. I'll tell you my stories. I'll have guests. We will have some interactive moments. If you want to send questions in to me, we can do that. But it's just about recapping, telling stories, in a place for me to talk to you. We're live from the New York City studios. Club 660. What do we call this place, Mike?
Studio 660.
Studio 660.
It's very creative.
Yeah.
Because that is the studio number.
That is the studio number. There's no other studios here, so I feel like we are definitely bringing down the stock of this office.
I think there is one more.
There's another studio
I
here?
saw someone with lights outside their studio, and it was very small lighting, and I was like, oh, we might have spent too much money.
It could also be like a tanning booth.
Really for very pale people.
It's also pretty interesting how they just ask no questions when you rent some of these offices out. Like, people are doing, you could do anything you want in here.
There's no, I mean, it literally could be anything. I'm actually interested to see. I sneak my head into people's offices sometimes if they're not looking, and I'm like, what do you do? A lot of stand-up computers, a lot of people with multiple screens.
There used to be a famous pornographic channel that had, based on that premise, they basically rented a room out in one of these office buildings and they shot porn in it.
We know this is a 24-hour building.
Yeah, you could do, I mean, listen.
You come in here 2 a.m., who knows what the hell's going on?
I think if we did porn, we might be profitable in this
Yeah,
operation.
you're right. We might be able to pay for something.
We definitely don't do it for the size of the building, but we are here in New York City if you're listening from abroad or from around the country. Speaking of which, did a Christmas tour, Christmas run of shows. Some beautiful parts of the country that I'm sure you've been to. Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. We did Albany, New York. We did Binghamton, New York. Concord, New Hampshire. And Port Chester, New York. Which are all top 5 travel destinations in the United States. All-time high. I mean, tough to even get a room in these places. Port Chester, New York, I've never even heard of that. And it's just north of the city, Westchester County, which some people have heard of Westchester. I've never heard of Port Chester. Famous theater, though, Capitol Theater. Have you ever heard of that place?
I've heard of it, but I've never been.
Beautiful room.
Never would have been able to tell you where it was, though. If you just said, where's the Capitol
Port
Theater,
Chester.
I would have said Washington, D.C. The balls of you to name something the Capitol Theater in Port Chester is incredible.
It's, ironically not in the capital of anything. Port Chester. But it's known for, the theater is like a hub for Grateful Dead shows. So apparently they did a lot of Grateful Dead stuff there. A lot of people on mushrooms in the building.
Sure.
Not actively, not during our show, I don't think. No. Probably would have helped my performance. But Capitol Theater was a beautiful room. I thought when we got told we were playing Port Chester, I did a joke on stage. I thought he said Poor Chester. Like the poor part of Westchester, which I didn't think was possible. Then we pulled up to the theater and swear to God, there's a guy doing crack outside of the theater. I'm like, checks out. And maybe it is the poor part of Westchester.
It is Portchester.
It is Portchester. Beautiful room, though. It was proper theater setup, but it had the whole pit area was removable chairs. So it's kind of like a jam. It's known as like a jam band theater. It's kind of unique in that sense. But
you're not selling it to me.
As a jam band
Somebody
spot?
offered me Grateful Dead tickets New Year's Eve at Madison Square Garden.
They did that this year?
Yeah. And it was a friend, so I was like, I don't know how to say, never ask this to me again without like making them mad. I couldn't think of a worse. That sounds like a sentence to me.
I don't understand jam bands at all. If you're a fan of jam bands, I don't discriminate if you like a jam band.
Like whatever you want.
You can like anything you like.
For it doesn't mean I have to like it.
I don't get it.
No.
I don't get it at all. Because basically when someone says I like a jam band, if you're a Fish follower or a Grateful Dead follower,
Or maybe it was Fish. I'm sorry.
Fish.
It was a Fish concert.
I don't know.
Even worse.
Even worse. Same cut from the same cloth.
Cut from the same trash.
Fish records and Grateful Dead records are definitely alongside each other for the people who like it. If you like it, God bless you. For me, don't get it. Basically, when someone says they like a jam band, they're admitting to you straight up like they got no hits. There's no hits associated with this group. They just vibe out. It's kind of like, it's like, what do they call club music now?
EDM?
Like EDM.
Yeah.
It's sort of like if you go to an EDM concert, you're basically straight up saying, you're not going to know the music. We're going for the drugs.
Wow. See, now that's starting to freak me out a little bit because there's some EDM that I really like. I've been to Electric Daisy Carnival once.
That's a full-blown festival, though.
Yeah, but I had a really good time, and there's a couple of EDM songs that I could rock out to.
I don't mind EDM music. EDM concert.
But there's hits, though. They do have hits.
They do have it. Way more than jam bands.
Yeah.
Like, Fish is never going to come out with a song. It's 43 minutes long with no choruses, and it's like in and out of guitar solos and people doing fucking mushrooms.
Dude, this kid in college, he was in a band, and we were talking one night at the bar that I used to work at, and he was talking about, like, yeah, I toured with Fish for a couple of years. I was like, holy shit, you toured with Fish. Like, how'd you forget to tell me that?
That's a
like,
big
that's
deal.
a cool thing.
Big
like,
credit.
You opened for Fish, and he goes, no. He gave me this, like, idiot. I said I toured with Fish. And I go,
oh, like he went to all the shows?
And I go, what do you mean? He goes, ugh. I followed them, dumbass. Like, he gave me this thing. I'm like, oh, I'm the idiot because I didn't realize that you just followed a band like
around.
A psycho.
People do that.
And if you like that, great. But don't give me attitude like I'm supposed to have realized the nuance between touring with Fish versus opening for Fish when you're in a band.
And they'll give you an explanation too. It's like every show is different. They never do the same show twice. That's because they don't even have songs.
Yeah,
it's easy to have no show the same way when you don't write music.
It's like saying all of our pizzas have the exact same size slices. Like they never have, and they never will.
I truly don't get it. And I went to...
But good for you for liking it.
You can
honestly,
like it.
Like anything you want.
Like anything you want.
Doesn't mean I have to
Doesn't mean I'm not going to judge you for it a little bit.
Starting to sound like my dad. Hey, I don't get it. But if that's what you like.
If it's what you like, it's what you like. I did go to a... I didn't purchase tickets. I did go to a Kygo concert. The DJ, who's Swedish. If he's not Swedish, he looks Swedish.
Don't they all look Swedish?
They kind of look Swedish. I went to a Kygo concert. And
I spelled it right looking it up on the first
Kygo.
I nailed it.
I went to a Kygo concert at the Barclays Center, arena show. And I left feeling like I truly don't understand what people think they just saw. But to me, I just saw the radio. He didn't even do anything. He was standing behind a booth playing songs from the radio. And I know Kygo songs. He has popular songs. I'm not taking that away. But as far as going to a show, it was literally listening to the radio at the Barclays Center. That's what it was.
Holy hell. This guy has videos upwards of 847 million hits on one of his songs. That's crazy. You think this guy's got money?
Kygo? Yeah, right? He's swimming in it.
Kygo Niercheman?
That's his last name? His real name is Kygo?
It says Kygo. Kygo, and on Google when you search
Is he Swedish?
Norwegian.
Same shit.
Sure.
Norway and Sweden? Oh, they're not the same country.
They're different countries. Anyway, talk more about how people that like Fish are stupid.
No, I'm an idiot. I will tell you that straight up. I am an idiot.
His full name
for
is
sure.
Kyer Gervel Dahl.
So wise choice going Kygo. His name is...
Like Kygo. That's like his first and middle...
Name put together.
Put together, yeah.
Well, a lot of people do that.
Yeah.
Kygo concert made no sense to me. People are so excited, and all he would do is... It was like a ramp up to the song, beat drop, play the song you've heard on the radio, next track. Some light design, I guess, but as far as...
At least a jam band is playing the instruments.
They're playing the instruments.
You got to give them the edge on that.
I give them credit on that.
But... Well, I guess the drugs are the same, too.
Is the definition of a jam band, they just have no hits? Because I feel like that has to be in the conversation. Well, jam band means no hits.
According to...
They sell a lot of tickets, though.
According to the internet, a jam band is a musical group whose concerts are characterized by lengthy improvisational jams. These include extended musical improvisation over rhythmic grooves and chord. Honestly, this description is boring. And long sets of music with often cross-genre boundaries. So basically, what they're saying. Stylistic origins. What do you if you pick 3 stylistic origins? Like, if you,
stylistic origins of a jam band: rock, folk, and country.
Jazz, folk, country, psychedelic, progressive rock, jazz, fusion, blues rock, southern rock. It's literally every genre.
Everything.
It's everything but rap.
Besides rap.
Rap and hip hop. Yeah.
Could you imagine if you had a rap jam band? That'd be hysterical. You just had that, could be me. I could be the rap jam band.
What would you call yourself?
Jiggy. I already have the name built in.
Holy shit.
Are you joking me? I want to be a rap jam.
Change the name of the show. Go ahead. Hold on. I'll change the name of the show. It's no longer Fresh
Ladies and gentlemen,
Tales.
welcome to Jiggy the Jam Band.
Jiggy Jam.
Jiggy Jams. You come out to the show, be like, oh man, I went to this Jiggy Jam concert. What did he do? Dude, I don't fucking know what he was doing. He was rapping for like 3.5 hours.
He was improvising rap. Would you get any merch? It was a jar of jelly at the end. Strawberry.
We all
Jiggy
did
Jam.
mushrooms and saw Jiggy Jam. What are you talking about? Yeah, this guy goes out and he raps for 3.5 hours. It's not even any different songs. He's just basically talking.
That sounds so boring, what you just said. You might as well have been describing a Fish concert to me.
That is a Fish concert.
That also sounds equally as bad as a
But honestly, if I could sell at Madison Square Garden, if I could sell at Madison Square Garden with my Jiggy Jam.
It's an easy bar. Yeah.
I'll
sell at Madison Square Garden.
I'll sell at Madison Square Garden. Jiggy Jam? Are you joking me? No one does that. I guess this is where you're describing is freestyling. But I would be even more mundane. I would just talk about my day.
Rap is jam band rap.
I guess, but I would make it longer and less interesting. I woke up this morning. I would just talk about my day, talk about Christmas.
Don't do it. Don't start jamming. Don't start rapping right now, because any white guy that doesn't rap or any person that doesn't rap, it always starts with the same. My name is Jiggy and I'm here to, like, it's always like,
I'm definitely not here to stay. That's usually the line after. My name is Jiggy and I'm here to stay. If there's anything, I'm definitely not here to stay.
My name, if you're doing a jam band, it's my name is Jiggy and I'm going to be here for a very long time.
This show will last 9 hours.
I'm actually here to stay.
I wonder who the stagehands, if you're working Madison Square Garden and it's a heavy union, you must get the breakdown of the show. Like, how do they even know how long the show is going to be? I'm sure it's billed as 90 minutes, and then like the show was 15 hours.
I don't think that even like the Pink Floyd. I mean, Pink Floyd had hits. That's irresponsible.
They're not a jam band.
That's irresponsible that I just called Pink Floyd.
They're definitely not a jam band.
No.
A lot of Pink Floydians would be upset,
and I'm upset too. But I think that there's got to be like a time limit. Like they know, and look, these people that do these Widespread Panics, all these bands that are jam bands.
I've never heard of that.
They're professionals. No matter what, they're still professionals. And like have you done anything for 20 years? Like every single day, we were like, oh, I just can't wait to do this. And they're probably looking at the clock, just like anyone.
I've done some things they're not appropriate.
Just like anything at work. That's a good point. Just like anything at work, though. Anyone who has a job, it's a job to you at a certain point, even though it's cool and fun, and you're like a rock star or whatever. You're still watching the clock, like, all right, we got to be there by 10:30, like 10:29. I'm done after this.
I wonder what their rider looks like. I wonder what kind of treats and snacks that Fish has backstage.
Well, there's one way to find out.
That's a Googleable thing.
We'll Google
if their rider has fun snacks. But yeah, even when they mail it in for a show, what is that, like a 4-hour concert? It puts a lot of pressure on the band members too, because you got to like wing it every night.
You ready for this? I'm sorry to change the subject slightly here, but I looked up for the writers. Rolling Stone, this garbage, absolute trash publication, top 10 jam bands of all time.
Fish is not number one.
Well, you tell me.
I guess Grateful Dead would have to be number one.
So the number one is Grateful Dead. I think everyone
agrees with that.
Number two, the Allman Brothers. Were they a jam band?
No, that's rock. That's Southern rock, isn't it?
It's Southern rock. It's rock. I just can't imagine that they're
Allman Brothers. I couldn't name you 3 Allman.
Almond, not like the milk.
Almonds.
Dude, the Walnut Bros.
The Walnut Brothers. Almond.
The Allman. ALLMAN. Maybe you don't know if they're a jam band or not. You don't even know the name of the band.
I swear to God, I thought they were the almond, like
almond,
the
like
fruit,
like the
nut.
No.
They're all man?
Almond, like all man, one word, almond.
Oh, man, I didn't know that.
Oh, man, you didn't, did you?
I thought they were almond.
Oh, man, you look stupid, brother.
But I definitely didn't know they were a jam band. I also didn't know their pronunciation of their name.
Fish.
What's number
obvious.
4?
Cream. Eric Clapton. No, sorry, not a jam band.
What's 5? I couldn't even. I'm done after
This is
fishing.
dumbfounding to me. This is why, like, they just released the top 200 singers of all time. Rolling Stone.
200 singers.
Top 200 singers that ever existed.
Who's number 1? Elvis.
It's really there's so many people that got left off the list. Adele's on there, but they missed like Celine Dion isn't on the list.
Is she a great singer?
She might be one of the greatest female singers of all time.
That's a bold statement. Celine Dion is definitely not the best singer of all time.
Buddy, they had Iggy Pop on there.
He's not a singer.
There you go.
What about the Allman Brothers?
Allman Brothers did not make it. Number 5, all-time greatest, Dave Matthews Band.
Oh, I would have put them higher. I forgot about them.
They're not a jam band.
They're definitely a jam band. Are you joking me?
They have songs with lyrics with beginnings, middles, and ends.
Yeah, they have 3 of those.
Radio hits.
They have three of those. I honestly
came back to see. Everyone knows.
I honestly thought while we were talking about Fish, I was envisioning Dave Matthews Band the whole time.
Number 6, Widespread Panic. That's an obvious one. Number 7, Government Mule. Sure.
I don't know those ones.
I'm Free McGee. They're like they're kind of like a.
I feel like I'm getting high
Irish
just listening
jam
to
band.
this.
Pink Floyd.
Jam
Number
band?
9. That's Rolling Stones calling them a jam band.
You really had me upset with almonds. Now I'm really upset.
You're more of an Oat Milk Brothers.
Oat Milk Brothers.
But yeah, it's pretty brutal. This Rolling Stone sucks. I don't know if you want to put your name on that, but I'm putting mine on it. On the Fresh Towels podcast.
Yeah.
Rolling Stone is
officially certified fresh.
Certified dirty towel. Oh, that could be a thing that you do.
Dirty towels?
It's the towel. Is that fresh or is that a
certified fresh towel?
Certified fresh towel, or that towel needs to be wrung out. Wring that towel out.
Wring that towel out. It's full of shit.
It's full of garbage. Rolling Stone, wring it out. It's over.
It's over. Dirty towel. Not a fresh towel. Not a fresh towel. You know what? It was a fresh town, though. Concord, New Hampshire. Low-key, kind of fun.
There's a lot of places in this country that I think that a lot of people don't give the right
underrated.
amount of due to.
I'll say it right here. Concord, New Hampshire. Underrated town. First of all, New Hampshire in general is a wild west of New England, for sure. It is... For those of you who don't know, anything that's like illegal in Massachusetts is legal in New Hampshire. Like fireworks, like I bought a blow dart gun when I was 11 in New Hampshire. Just totally acceptable.
What city was it?
Concord, New Hampshire.
Concord, New Hampshire.
It's Concord, not Concord. It's not a grape.
Really? Because it's spelled like Concord.
Yeah, that's a New England thing where our towns pronunciation is kind of, you have to be in the
you're
know.
from Mass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Concord, New Hampshire.
It's no shock that I'm shocked that after the Revolutionary War this country was not conquered.
Concord. Cool town. New Hampshire, they have so much pride in this part of, so they're known on all the borders, from borders with Vermont, borders with Massachusetts. They have these New Hampshire liquor and wine outlet stores, and they're known for cheap liquor and wine once you cross over to New Hampshire, because I don't think there's taxes there, or it's literally the Wild West. I don't know if it's no taxes. That doesn't sound right, but it's limited taxes, especially compared to Massachusetts. So they have really cheap liquor and wine, and I stayed in a hotel. I checked in. They're like, "Oh, you're gonna love this hotel room we have you in. There's a nice balcony, nice view, downtown Concord, New Hampshire." I check into the room. I go into the balcony, and it overlooks a Burlington coat factory and a Joann Fabrics.
Burlington, Vermont.
We were in Concord, New Hampshire.
But it's the same thing. Fish, Grateful Dead,
Burlington,
New
Vermont?
Hampshire, Vermont, whatever.
I don't think Burlington.
It's all one state.
Burlington Coat Factory has nothing to do with Burlington, Vermont. I would go on a limb and say that.
I would have lost, I bet.
There's Burlington, Massachusetts.
Oh, I bet there's Burlingtons everywhere. Do you know why it's so cheap, though?
New Hampshire?
New Hampshire
state tax.
liquor? No, it's the government, the state owns the liquor stores.
And so they just...
It's like
discount
it's a
it?
control, so they kind of do what they want. So I think that there's no tax on it.
No tax.
I'm assuming.
Cheap prices.
I'm making this assumption because if they own it and they're taxing it, that's double jeopardy.
You
For
can't
sure.
do that.
You can't own it and tax because they're both of that money's going to you. So it's probably tax free.
You cross into New Hampshire.
No sales tax. No sales tax on anything.
It's like the Wild West.
Yeah.
Their slogan is "Live free or die."
There you go.
limited options.
Live free or die, and we will kill you with the liquor that we get all
drink,
the benefit from.
drink your way to death. No, they have my balcony overlooked Burlington Coat Factory, Joanne Fabrics, and next to that was a New Hampshire liquor and wine outlet. And people lost their mind. When I said that I was overlooking a liquor and wine outlet, there was so much pride in the room.
They were just so happy.
They were so happy that I had acknowledged the fact that we have the cheap booze.
That's their Wawa in the Northeast. Like
Wawa.
Philly, Jersey, Maryland, Wawa is like, if you mention Wawa, it's the greatest thing ever.
They go crazy.
But apparently in Vermont, it's cheap state-owned liquor stores.
Cheap liquor and wine is what Concord does. Nice people, though. Salt of the earth people.
Of course.
Really enjoyed the shows up there. We did shows in Binghamton, New York, which is a college town.
Where my girlfriend was born and raised.
Really? I wonder if you know.
All the way up to went to college there and grad school.
Big college town. Drove around. Doesn't scream college-y stuff to me at all.
There are in the downtown area. There's some pretty
college-y bars.
Big. I went there once on a college bar thing. Was 37, 38 years old. Going to college. I went back for her reunion, like her college reunion.
How old are you now?
38. I'm about to turn 39 in like a week or two.
I didn't know that.
I'm getting up there. Well,
you look like a full mid-30s to me.
Hell yeah. Buddy,
Strong 34.
I might have to shave my beard for a commercial, and let me tell you, I'm going to look fucking 22. Sorry for cursing. You haven't cursed yet. I don't know if you're cursing on this.
Oh, it's all right. Well, you'll have to bleep it out.
That's fine.
Just kidding.
Do
you look so much younger when you shave it? Why don't you shave your beard then?
Because I have the worst chin on earth.
Oh, chin issues.
I have a double chin and a shitty regular chin.
Issues.
Chin shoes. That's what I call it.
I did a photo shoot a couple weeks ago that had there was a couple angles. I was throwing some chins out there, and I didn't like it.
I gotta put my neck out.
Gotta stick your neck out.
Binghamton in the downtown area, there are some real dive bars that are all just packed to the wall. No, I had no fun. It was too many people. At a certain age,
the butts.
Like you always not fantasize, but you like glorify your college days as an older person. Like, oh man, I get to go back to a college town as a mid to late 30s, whatever person that's like trying to get your life in order.
Intolerable.
It is tough. People like the glass windows, like floor to ceiling windows. It's just people packed. I'm like, how is this window not breaking?
I almost got into a
fist fight with two people.
Lots of fear of missing out going on in college.
It was brutal.
I went. We had a great meal in Binghamton and some of these small towns.
Tell me the places that you liked up there.
Well, we had one meal there. We were there for like 12 hours.
For the night, yeah. Lost Dog.
Stayed at. We had dinner at the Lost Dog.
Mm-hmm. That's like the big fancy restaurant in Binghamton.
Was it fit?
I mean, that's like the big restaurant that everyone goes to.
So the show we did in Binghamton was so much fun. First time this ever happened to me at a show. Middle of the show, I'm out there. I'm eating our show meal or whatever. Like we get dinner sent to the venue. So I'm eating the show meal when I came off stage, and I'm watching the monitors and watching the show, watching Gatto perform. And I'm looking at the monitor. I'm like, shit, our monitor froze. Because he's not moving. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? His mouth's not moving. It's like just standing there. I'm like, what the fuck? So then I see people scrambling and running around the theater. I'm sitting out at like the merch area with our merch guy. And I'm, eating, and things frozen. People are running. And then my phone starts blowing up. And someone had like a full-blown heart attack in the theater. Or a seizure or something. I don't know. I still don't know what happened. So I'm watching the thing. People start running. Then my phone starts blowing up. And I run to the theater. And this woman mid-show has a episode. And the crowd brings her into the aisle. And as a performer, especially at like a theater, even at a comedy club, you can't see the whole crowd.
Yeah. You just hear commotion.
So Joe hears commotion. Thinks that people are chatting, and then people are screaming, medic, right? And to turn the lights up. And still, I don't think that he connected what was happening. So the house puts the lights up, and she's having a full episode. It was one of those, I missed it because I was eating. While I'm running, it's one of those, like, is there a doctor in the house? And then, like, someone comes, there's medics, they have to pull her out. But the show's at a complete standstill.
Sure.
And as a performer, what do? It's like... I think he had choices. You can like leave the stage. You obviously can't continue the show. So very, very difficult situation. I thought he handled it like a pro. Like let them do their thing.
Did he stay on while it was happening?
He stayed on the stage.
Yeah.
Which I think you need to do. I think I told him
Eyes up
later.
here, everybody. Let them do their thing. But I still got a story about my dogs I got to tell. Could you imagine the balls?
Let me know where I left off. But he stayed on stage, which I think brings a level of calm to the room, because if you leave stage, I told him after the show, I'm like, if you had left stage, I don't think that the crowd knows what to do. Is the show over? Should we leave? Then you'd have to make like a voice of God announcement, like an offstage announcement, like what's going on. But he stayed on stage, which I think brought calm to the room. She got carted off. She ended up being okay. But what a wild situation, you know? And then you do have to reset the room like that. Man, as a comic, that's the hardest thing you could do.
It's happened to me twice.
Really?
I've had someone choke.
A medical emergency?
They had a Heimlich somebody and it wasn't working, and they were like turning purple. And then somebody else had I believe.
What was the joke that? Do you remember where you left off?
The problem was that I'm not funny, so they were just like shoveling food in their mouth. Like, I gotta have some enjoyment here.
Got to do something here.
But they were fine, and they returned back to the show. They came back in at a certain point, so that was actually like, I love those not like I don't love when people get hurt, but like when things happen in the crowd that are like unavoidably like need to be acknowledged. Like I find I enjoy that. Like I don't want it to happen. When it does, it's like let's just go with it.
It puts you in a place to improv or make the best of the situation.
And I can I was at Levity Live not too long ago, and the fire alarm went off, beeping. Lights, everything, like loud noise, and nobody was doing anything about it. Everyone just did it. The waiters kept serving people, and so it was like 15 minutes of this thing going on, and I'm like, why is nobody panicking? Like, I think I'm gonna. And so it's just fun to like be in that moment. But then I had somebody choke, and then I had it was a seizure stroke situation where somebody was having a seizure, and
an attack,
shaking out in the crowd.
It's tough. It's scary.
Yeah, it's scary. Both times calling a medic, but I stayed on stage the whole time and just kind of. I think the best way is to like once things have settled, to start talking like shit about what happened and like how like you respond. I can't believe none of you responded so quick. Ever, you know what I always find because it relieves the tension of the room.
I think that's what Joe's angle back in,
especially when you know they're okay. Then it's like we can all laugh because we know that this person.
You have to kind of let the. It took the air out of the room, but he handled it like a pro. And
he gets on and he goes, ladies and gentlemen, just got word from the front. That was my punishment for quitting the show.
Yeah.
That was actually just Sal and pretending to be a lady choking.
But he handled it well. Crazy thing. But one of those, road stories you won't forget it. It will always remember that Binghamton show by that moment, unfortunately, But she was okay, thank God.
That's good.
And but I was eating Lady Dog or whatever it's called. Lost Dog. Yeah. Good food. Lady Dog. Lady Dog. They could change it. It could be the sister restaurant. I had this Greek thing, this Greek chicken. All the food I had in Binghamton was great. And that's what I think my takeaway was like, man, you can go to some of these small towns and sometimes they have a great special thing.
Binghamton is known for Speedies. Chicken Speedies is probably what you had. It was like a marinated chicken type of situation.
It was a Greek chicken.
It's just like Greek Italian dressing marinated chicken. It's nothing special, but they call it chicken Speedies. They have a festival where it's just like hundreds of
Didn't
different...
you have a hat, a chicken Speedy hat?
Yeah, the local Binghamton, the Mets.
The Binghamton...
Like the AA or AAA Mets, one of their hat, they came out with this crazy design of it. It looks like a chicken Speedy with a baseball bat instead of a skewer.
You wore that during softball.
Yeah, nobody knows what it is, so they discontinued them. I got fitted, legitimate ball cap for $9.99.
Yeah,
I bought 5 of them. I gave them out to everybody. It was fantastic.
I didn't get one. What the hell?
Everyone there. You weren't there.
I wasn't there.
If you were choking on Chicken Speedy at a Joe Gatto show, you'd have gotten one.
It could have been a Chicken Speedy issue, honestly.
It's very possible.
Food was great. Binghamton, cool town. We had lunch at the Little Venice, which is like a cool Italian restaurant down there, and they are known for their meat logs, which admittedly not a great name for a dish, not appealing, but it found itself on different places in the menu. It was like cheese ravioli with meat log, and then meat logs were all over this thing. I mean, out of all the things you could call something, I'm like, what the hell is a meat log? They're like, it's just a meatball shaped like a log. I'm like, okay. Well,
okay. You can't call it a ball if it's not in the shape of a sphere, I suppose.
Yeah, meat stick would have sounded better. I guess meat log sounds... I don't know. It doesn't sound good.
There's probably some sort of like law that you can't call a meatball if it's not in the shape of a ball.
Well, we've
you do
accepted,
crab dip, and it's you use any imitation crab. You have to spell it with a K. You can't spell it. Yeah, there's all
gosh.
kinds of weird things
Got that.
like that.
Well, the meat log was very tasty. Literally just a meatball shaped like a log.
Where?
I guess we've accepted the spherical nature
Mini
of
meatloaf,
meatballs.
they could have called it.
Mini
A
meatloaf.
mini loaf,
Or meatloaf.
meat tube,
Italian meatloaf?
Italian meatloaf.
We've accepted
I
loaf
don't know.
as
I
a
think
shape.
all meatloaf is Italian, isn't it?
No, that's not true at all. It's continental.
Continental. I love the idea of trying to church up meatloaf. No, it's minced steak.
Yeah, it was. Well, you can make it with some elevated ingredients, but I like a meatloaf.
I
Meatloaf
love
takes
meatloaf.
it.
Meatloaf sandwich?
Fruitcake is in the category of all these shunned foods.
Let me ask you this: ketchup or no ketchup on your meatloaf?
When you bake it, or when you eat it.
Okay, so this is where we start to get into the weeds here. Bake it with some ketchup on top.
Certainly.
Fine.
Yes,
Cold ketchup, dip your hot meatloaf in.
I would do that. I think I grew up doing that.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I
I
did
think I
too.
grew up doing that. My mom makes a great meatloaf.
What's the weirdest thing you've eaten, like as a kid, that you look back and nobody can understand?
Well, it's tough. I have an answer for that. The weird things that I used to eat when I was a kid were all Middle Eastern things that at the time people were like, what the fuck is hummus? And then I would eat hummus.
But you were a little prick. You were like, it's hummus.
It's hummus. You're mispronouncing it. But I would eat Middle Eastern stuff, and I saw the progression of Middle Eastern food becoming more popular. Like I would eat hummus and grape leaves and
but
like
that's
baba
also
ganoush.
Greek, though, right? Isn't
It's
baba
Middle
ganoush
Eastern, Mediterranean food.
Mediterranean? Yeah, which is
tabbouleh.
Greek. Yeah.
Things like tabbouleh. I put lemon on fucking everything. And then people would think I was crazy. I remember being like, I remember my grandmother would be like pack me like hummus when I would go play baseball when I was like 8. You know, I'd be eating
Hummus
like
and carrot sticks?
hummus and carrots. Like,
Everyone else
it'd
is
be like-
eating Big League Chew, and you're just some crazy Greek kid
Yeah.
with a mouthful of buckwheat and hummus or whatever the hell Greeks eat.
Yeah.
She's rubbing olive oil in your face because the sun's too hot.
The other moms are packing frozen grapes. I'm eating like tabbouleh and fucking.
That's so funny.
But I would eat that stuff, and people would think that was kind of wild. But now that's completely commercialized. You can get that anywhere. You can buy hummus at CVS.
Bro, commercial hummus is shouldn't be called hummus. It's so bad. Like Sabre, it's
Yeah,
despicable.
they cornered the market. I like some of their flavored stuff. I mean, listen, like a
But
nice
it doesn't
hummus
taste like
is-
hummus. You get a real, legitimately fresh ground hummus.
It's very good.
It's a completely different product. That's like saying, "Oh, well, I melted cheese on some white bread. That's pizza." It's like,
not
no,
pizza.
it's got similar ingredients, but it is
Elements.
not pizza.
I would take a I mean, there definitely is some other stuff that I grew up eating that I don't think ever got commercialized, like Armenian cured meats like bastama, and there's a meat called sucuk, which is like a dried sausage, delicious.
So
Like you'll
everything
sweat it out of your pores for like a week.
Everything you said sounds good except for the name. What was it called?
Sucuk.
It has "ugh" in the name.
Sucuk. You don't have to do the.
Stop having the word "gross" in the name of your meat.
Listen, I'm telling you.
Sucuk.
If you want to smell, like if you're trying to repel demons, all you have to do is eat bastama or sucuk, and it's so loaded with like cumin and paprika, and I don't even know how many spices are in these things.
It's a marketing problem.
If you eat sucuk, bastama, guaranteed, you go for like a run, you will sweat, you will smell like bastama and sucuk for weeks. It's hard to get out of your system. And my grandfather used to he used to make his own bastama every winter, like. And you put it out in the porch. You put all the spices on like a piece of meat. I don't even know what the spices are, the cut. And then you wrapped it in a cheesecloth towel and you would hang it out in the porch. And then like a few weeks later, boom, bing, bang, boom, you got a bastama. Delicious, heavily spiced, definitely not for everyone.
No, that sounds terrible.
Yeah.
But it's probably amazing.
Lahmacun is another one that's another...
The Greeks got to get their act together when it comes to marketing. Do you know Chilean sea bass, the story behind that?
Chilean sea bass is not from Chile?
It's not from Chile and it's not sea bass. It's just purely a name. It's a brand, actually.
What's the actual fish?
Patagonian toothfish. And they were like, no one's eating Patagonian toothfish.
That sounds
And so
good.
they remarketed it to Chilean sea bass, and now it's like the most expensive fish out there.
Do they
And it's
have,
still
like-
just a bottom-feeding trash fish.
Is it a trash fish?
It's disgusting.
They got a big tooth?
They're delicious. Yeah, they got like a weird thing, and they look like Overgrown catfish. They're disgusting. Let me see if I
Big
can
gross
find them.
tooths. I mean, they gotta have some big fucking teeth if they're
Look
known
at
as
this
a
thing.
toothfish.
Look at they have big feet. But look at that. That's no.
Oh, that's an
That's
ugly.
not
That's an ugly, scary
Yeah,
looking
it's
deal.
despicable. But it's Patagonian toothfish, and they're like, well, it's delicious. How do we remarket this?
Chilean sea bass.
Your sausage
Sujuk.
could be
We're gonna rename it Jiggy Jams. Jiggy meat.
that's so
Or I'll just call it
that'll work.
Binghamton meat logs.
Make it a meat roll. Ugh.
Ugh. Christmas was fun this year. Good, fun. First Christmas as a married guy.
How'd that go?
Good.
Do you feel the pressure to like up your present game, like your gift
No,
game for
no,
her,
I
or
feel like-
less?
Less. I feel like the most pressure you have in the present game is in the courting phase for sure. Because your year one present, if you're 6 months or under and you're going to give a gift to someone you've been dating, I feel like the stakes are low. It's like no one's really expecting anything. You can do a trivial fun gift 6 months and under, maybe 4 months and under. You can give a trivial fun gift for someone that you're seeing.
But if you met in January, there's a little bit more
January, full
expectations.
year, yeah, you got to really kind of bring the
yeah.
heat. But if you're, say, dating seasonally, like you met in September and then Christmas comes, I don't think you're expected
I think at that point, any gift is like
anything.
wow,
Trivial.
You thought of me. This is now so that you can make a decision with a gift of is this relationship? Do I want to be in this relationship or not? Through the gift.
So I met, at the time when I met my wife, we went on our first dates in November.
Okay.
So we had that, I had a turning point of like, am I going to give her a gift this year? It's too early. So I went with a trivial fun gift, which is in hindsight really funny. So she's Indian, and I got her a little like charm bracelet from the Christmas market that was a little circle, a little silver pendant with a lowercase I on it, because I for Indian.
I wish the camera was on me right now so people could see how disgusted my face is.
I got her a little pendant with an I for Indian.
Also lowercase. You know, India is a capitalized letter.
I know.
Like you're not only is that you're talking shit about her home country.
No,
Little I.
Little I.
Hey, you sound like Trump. Little I.
Little I, not worth it. But she's not. She's a petite person, so I would call her a little I.
Is that what you? Oh, that was like an inside joke.
It was an inside joke. I would
okay,
call her a
okay,
little
okay,
I, so I
okay.
got her a lowercase I.
I thought you just were like, yeah, that's I India. Sure, why not? So
it was
that
a
went
little
from,
bit of
that
an
went
inside
from the
joke.
worst gift I've ever heard to it's
Kind of
good.
cute, kind of
Yeah.
cute, but it's trivial. I mean, not an expensive thing. But then I remember year 2, I was like, oh shit, like I gotta.
Well,
like-
how did she react? Don't walk away.
oh, she thought
from
it was
this.
really cute.
What did you get? Do you remember?
She got me something food related. It was like
Sure.
like snacks I liked or something like that, which is appropriate. We only know each other a month. Who knows what's going to happen? But then I think when you're in a year 2 of relationship, or a full year, or like the second Christmas, that's where you ramp up of like, okay, this is how this guy's going to gift. This is the type of gift giver he's going to be.
Yeah.
And I remember feeling a lot of pressure for what to give for that real first Christmas, and I feel way less pressure now being married. And like we even did things this year which I'm cool with. I don't think it's necessary, but like we created like a price structure of like we're not
Sure.
going to go over this amount for the gifts, which kind of takes a little bit of pressure off. Like she's not expecting like a fucking Cartier bracelet, and I'm not expecting like a Maserati. So I would have really liked a Maserati.
Yeah,
though.
really. The difference between a bracelet and a Maserati.
Well, I only say that because I used to. I never made it as material. I wrote it, one of those things that lives on your phone and never made it to the stage. But I always thought it was funny, those commercials during the holidays were just like the December to remember from Lexus, and then like the dad comes outside and it's like a brand new like Lexus SUV with a bow on it. And I always envisioned like they had to go back inside to continue opening the gifts.
Yeah, like,
and then
oh.
the dad has to give whatever bullshit soap or candle to the wife. It's like, you just got a fucking Lexus.
I just got you a coupon book for 3 sexes.
You know how much you like chilies.
They had a my girlfriend hates my gifting because I'm really good at it. 'Cause I'm great at gift giving.
Do you keep notes throughout the year? I feel like my wife, she
yeah.
like she keeps notes of like, I'll just mention something and she
Mental notes.
puts
yeah.
it down.
I try to drop hints for my girlfriend, and it never works. She'll be like, I don't even know what to get you. I'm like, I've literally for the last 2 months been saying all like these 3 things, like, oh, it'd be really great if I had one of these. And she never listens. But my gifts are all creative. I don't spend a ton of money because I get like more meaningful stuff.
I'll tell you the best gift.
Like, my girlfriend's Jewish. I got a little J.
Little J. Little J. Has to be lowercase.
Yeah, I put it on all of her clothes.
I'll tell you what the most meaningful.
Nothing on the marked all of her clothes to let everyone know she's Jewish. All right, that's fine. That's fair. That's fair.
I'll take it. One of the best things I ever gave as a gift, and this is like definitely a tip for the dudes out there.
Sure.
It's a fantastic gift option. You go down to Walgreens and you can make custom calendars with your pictures as it's a standing calendar, desk calendar. You can put all your pictures for each month. So it's like on the left side is a picture of you guys, and then on the right is like a calendar of all the months. I've made those year over year. It's like no matter what I give her, she always remembers the calendar. And they're not expensive. It's so easy. You just go on Walgreens.com. You can make the thing in 5 minutes, but it's so meaningful.
Well, yeah, it's thoughtful.
You pick the pictures that correspond with the months.
I think
huge hit.
The people you want to be in a relationship with are the ones that are more attracted to meaningfulness, thoughtfulness. You were clearly thinking about me rather than like the expensive. Like, okay,
Sure.
a Cartier, anyone can go buy a Cartier bracelet. In my instance, everybody can't.
Some people can
paint a photo or paint a picture of our old dog smoking a cigarette at a bar.
You did that?
That's what I did.
That's a great gift.
And I got her a pillow of the dog. She was obsessed with our dog. It's a new dog, so this year was all dog stuff. And then I got her a pillow.
Painted pillow.
A pillow that has a picture of our dog, but she looks like Baby Yoda because our dog looks like Baby Yoda. So
Fun.
it's just her. Yeah, so it's just her at a bar
Fun
smoking
gifts.
a cig, and because we always joke that she's smoking a cigarette, and she's an old lady. So I was like, oh, that'd be funny. And it really bugs her because she's like, oh, God damn it, this was great.
I think the meaningful gifts help out. But this year I think was nice. I think went well. I always kind of stressed out about Christmas. You always want to nail it. I think I did okay with the gifts this year. I feel good about it. You kind of, as a guy, I feel like we just want to make it out of the holidays alive. Like you don't want to do anything that fucks it up. You want to make it out of the holidays where it's the same, if not better, than the way you went in. And that you can amp up the holidays just by like a Christmas market date, a fun dinner out, like fun clothing, Christmas sweater date nights.
Are you more of an
meaningful
event?
gifts.
If you would you rather get an item or like an event? Or
we talk
like an
about this all the time.
experience?
We literally talk about this all the time on the gift giving thing. It's either a thing or an experience. I like to open stuff.
But what if you opened up like it's a box and inside is a ticket to this thing you've been wanting to go to?
She did that for me this year.
Yeah, okay.
I'm cool with that. I like having like a date night. I think I prefer having like a physical thing. I liked opening.
Oh, cool.
Like,
I guess I could buy my own KitchenAid stand mixer. But no, cool. I can't wait to go to this restaurant we've been to twice already. Oh, great.
She got me Broadway tickets this year, which I thought was fun. It's fun for us too. We get to go to a show.
I much rather like an event because there's the gift is so much greater because it's anticipation, getting dressed. Like it's a whole thing.
And you get a memory. A memory lasts
and you get
forever.
a memory. Yeah. Like I can't remember half the shit I get for Christmas.
I got significantly roasted. I had one bad Christmas. We've been together for 5 plus years. I only had one bad Christmas from a good place in my heart. But I've learned now you cannot buy not everyone. For me, I cannot buy my wife anything that has a battery in it.
Okay.
Nothing that has a battery in it. So
nothing that needs maintenance.
No electronics.
Yeah.
No electronics. I've screwed that up so bad. So one year I got her a new laptop and I got her a Google Home because she would always set her alarms on her phone, and I was like, a Google Home, great gifts.
A laptop.
What
was it, like
an
an
HP
or something, or did you get her a Mac? Did you get her a real laptop, or did you get one like a Chromebook?
She's a PC person for work, so I got her. It was a PC.
Okay,
so
but she wanted a PC.
I don't know. I took a leap. She had this old brick laptop from her parents that she got from probably 2008.
Yeah.
The thing was like this wide. It was like they used to program the space shuttles on this thing.
Hilarious.
So I got her a new laptop. I'm like, I'm going to upgrade her laptop and I'll get her a Google Home because she always sets the alarm. And like this way, You can set the alarms and you can get the weather updates, and it's by your bedside. It's like a cool little thing. I get her those 2 gifts. If I had packaged dog shit, she would have opened it with more glee than me giving the electronic gifts. It was like I gave her horse shit in a bag.
Why?
It's just not her thing. She does not like
She wants
electronic
pretty
gifts.
things.
She wants pretty cute things. And if it falls into
pretty things, not
if it falls into a category of cute or has something that we can do together, share together,
no utility.
Utility list.
Zero utility
Zero
to
utility.
any gift you give her. Oh, look, cool! This is the brand new iMac. That's got it's $5,000. Okay, cool. And she opens it up. She goes, "Oh, you didn't even put a picture of us on the home screen." Okay.
Yeah, exactly right. If I have to explain its utility, you know how people do that in a gift, like, oh, and they're like, oh yeah, I thought you could use it to make your smoothies in the morning. If I have to explain that step, I've completely missed it.
Yeah.
But now I know for her, I had that one bad Christmas. If anything has an on-off switch, you're fucked.
It's over
at home for me.
Yeah. No, I hear that.
I'm the complete opposite. I don't mind. I like stuff. I can handle the meaningful stuff, experiences. I'm always happy. She's lucky.
Yeah.
I'm just a guy. I'm just happy to be there.
Bro,
you know, I'm happy she even loves me.
I had to.
She can give me fucking anything.
I bought my girlfriend's dad socks because he loves this one particular sock from Costco. And we were up there for Thanksgiving, and all of his socks had holes in them. So I was like, "Oh, I got to get this
Great
guy.
gift.
It means something. He needs it, whatever." And also, like, what am I going to get this guy? Like,
it's funny. It's pretty.
Right.
It's pretty funny.
And it's not like that wasn't going to be the only thing I got him, but I was like, "Oh, let me get this guy some socks. That'd be good." We haven't done Christmas yet, so I still have time. And she went on Christmas morning, like her parents gave me a gift, and we have this RV upstate with like a deck and a whole thing, and I need a new grill. And they're like, oh, they're going to buy you a new grill/smoker set up to like an insane amount of money. And I go, oh, shit. Like, I got them socks.
Yeah.
Like, they so out-gifted me, which is like, I guess that's what like the parent generation is supposed to do. Like, they're supposed to be like, you look to your parents for the bigger gift, whatever. But I was like, man, I really
getting out-gifted is tough.
Like, all right, I'm going to have to get two sets of socks. I don't know what I'm going to do. I still have.
Yeah, you better watch out. You might get a tie next year.
Yeah, really. Ugh. But now I'm going to have a good smoker.
Yeah.
But I feel terrible. I got time. I got a couple weeks.
I got a couple weeks. Long term. You got multiple. You can always throw some different gifts out.
I got to go to Binghamton and get a better gift. That's where they are.
I stacked up all my giftable times are stacked up for me like in 3 months.
Yeah.
Our new anniversary, it's not like our old anniversary or the day we used to celebrate our anniversary was always the first week of January when we became a fish.
Sure.
Now that's changed to our wedding day in September, so I get a little bit of pressure relieved on that. But I would have Christmas, anniversary, and then her birthday's in March, and Valentine's Day in February. So it was like bang, 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 bang. I was like fucking broke. First 3 months of I would have to find all different gifts, all in 90-day cycle. That was tough. Now you take the anniversary out, throw that in September, takes care of that. But then now I have Christmas and Valentine's Day, which is fine. Everyone does that. And then I got the birthday in March, which is I can handle that.
Do you find it that you're going to have to continue to celebrate each of the mini milestones?
No, we turn the valves off on those because then it's like we would get into, well, this is the day we met. Before we got engaged, I felt like we had 15 days that could have been, well, are we going to celebrate the day we met when we met in Italy? I was like, well, we can. Well, we should celebrate that day. And then our first day we went on a date. And then the day we became official, I'm like, we're going to have a full new calendar.
Yeah, really.
This is going to be like the mind calendar of us in a relationship if we celebrate all these days. This is the first time we had food together. First time you ever had a smoothie in front of me. Remember the first time you had a smoothie, though?
Bro, my parents celebrate every single possible, and he'll call me. He'll be like, 50, just did it the other day. He goes, 53 years ago today, me and your mother went officially steady. I'm like, all right. He goes, Christmas Eve, 1970. Like, all right.
Oh, my gosh.
I don't know. He's like, yeah, don't you remember the day? I go, no, I don't. I don't remember the day because that's not the day that I met anybody. Cool. This is the first date that we held hands 58 years ago. All right. But they've been together since they were 13. So like this is the day the anniversary of us turning 18 together, and we could finally get a car. Like, okay.
It's kind of nice. I mean, there's something charming about it.
But it's like,
it's hard.
I feel bad because I don't remember it. And also like, I'm never going to remember that.
It's tough.
And it's sweet.
It's nice to remember the days, but I think celebrating them is a whole nother thing.
It's
We
a lot.
agreed not
It's a
to put pressure on each other to like celebrate in the sense of like we're not going to wake up on our day we went on our first date day and think there's going to be gifts or something. We can still acknowledge it. But it's funny. I used to have a friend when we were both single who would say that dating season is dormant from December through February 15th.
Yeah.
Like dating season begins February 15th. If you can skip over Christmas and Valentine's Day, you've saved hundreds or thousands of dollars.
I know so many people that are like, I'm going to break up before, because I'll miss birthday, Christmas, Valentine's
It all
Day.
lines up.
I don't like her enough to do any of that, so I'm out.
Yeah.
And by people, I'm me. I've done that more than once.
Dating season, February 15th. That's when it all kicks off.
Yeah, that's when the season of depression kicks in because you realize you're with the wrong person. What?
Dating season, February 15th through the summer. If you can start dating someone in the winter after Valentine's Day and you can make it to the summer, then you're teed up for some fun. Summer is fun. It's like all the same expectations of winter holiday gifting season, but it's more
It's a quality.
short. Yeah, it's like short weekend trips.
You
and
get to
like
both have fun. It's not
Yeah.
just you putting the pressure on. It's like you guys get to both
less
do it.
pressure fun. Summer
Absolutely,
is
yeah.
like, oh, will you come to Michaela's wedding with me? And then you get to like go bang in a new place.
Yeah.
Or my friend has a house in blah, blah, blah. You get to go have fun weekends. That's the fun dating season.
Yeah.
Spring, summer is great. Fall, man, you can just, after the last candy's eaten on Halloween, you're like, TikTok, baby. I got to go meet these girls' fucking parents at Thanksgiving. Then I got to go buy her a gift.
That's when you really find out if you like somebody. You're like, oh God, it's coming up on I have to meet her parents time.
Meeting the parents at Thanksgiving puts a lot of pressure.
I don't like a Thanksgiving meeting. I like a good just
Too much
like
pressure.
regular interaction. Like, oh, they're coming to the city for the weekend. Oh, great, we can see them for the night. Go get dinner, and then you go back to your respective domiciles.
A dinner meeting is probably preferred. I met this girl I dated in college. I have a weird phobia where I can't eat in front of a dog. I can't eat in front of a dog.
That's not. That's
I can't
what's
eat
the
in front of
real
any animal.
What's the real issue?
I have a phobia around eating around dogs because I
No.
feel like the hair is gonna fall off their fly around. I can't deal with the smell or the hairs flying off their body.
So you don't like animals.
No, I do like dogs. I can't eat in front of them. I had a dog when I was a kid.
So if there's a dog a block away
No,
from where you're sitting, like you're on a patio, and on the other side of the street, there's a dog. You're like, I'm not eating.
I don't like to be able to visually see a dog when I eat, but I like dogs. Even when I grew up, I had a dog. We had chow chows.
What about a bird?
I don't like eating in front of birds either. I wouldn't want to eat in front of
A pigeon
bird.
lands on the railing. Of
I'm
the pizza
thinking
place.
about it
You're
for sure.
out.
I'm thinking about it.
You're like, well, I'm done eating.
I don't want to eat there. Like if there's a cafeteria at a zoo, for example, not eating there.
No one eats
That's
at
a
the
lot.
zoo cafeteria. You
No one
have
wants
to
to eat
assume
there.
that you're getting sardine smoothies.
Like even eating at Animal Kingdom at Disney World, I'm like, I'll wait till we go to fucking Epcot.
That's in 2 days.
Yeah.
Well, count me in.
Yeah, we'll wait. I got a park
It's too much.
hopper.
That's too much.
I don't like eating in front of dogs. I have a phobia against it. It's the smell. I don't like them looking at me. I feel like they're looking at me. They want a little something off the phone. I don't like it. It's just me. I don't like it.
Do you have a pet right now?
No, I don't have a dog.
And you never will.
No, I like dogs.
But you'll have a dog in your house you'll never eat again. You never cook a meal.
That's not true. I had a dog when I grew up.
Okay, but that's
and we put
that's
the
not-
dog
that's
in
then. This
on
is
a
now.
tree. We put our dog. We had a tree where like the dog would go out, long leash, big backyard.
Sure.
We put the dog out on the tree.
And then you just
and we
hurry
ate.
up and eat.
Oh, then when we're done, we take the dog in.
Oh, you always let the dog out when you eat.
Yes,
The dog is never inside when you eat.
never inside.
So okay. So you don't have a problem with having dogs look at you. You have an abandonment problem. That's
What are you talking about?
That's abandonment
It's a
issue.
smell hair issue.
No, it's an issue that you think that because if dogs are in the room when you eat, that means you've been abandoned, just like they were abandoned when they were made to go outside to eat. That's the real problem. Is you're afraid people are going to leave you.
What?
I'm
It's a smell issue. I don't want the hairs flying around my food.
You want to think it's a smell issue, that's fine. But when me as an untrained amateur therapist, You have abandonment. You have abandonment issues.
No way.
Because of how you guys treated your family dog growing up.
No way.
Yeah.
I was the one who wanted the dog outside when I ate.
You like to think that, wouldn't
Can't
you?
do it. Or like these places like dog bars where you're like, oh, you can bring your dog. You can bring your dog to the bar. I'm like, dude, out. Never been to one of those places. Don't
Ooh,
like it.
Where are they? I'd love to go to one.
They have them in New York. Yeah, we want you to bring your dog. Even honestly, this is a pet peeve of mine too. Is like any hotels that have dogs around, like they let the dogs in the hotel. Out. I don't like that.
Can I
either.
tell you something? It's every hotel.
They're slowly turning into that. But then it's like, okay,
out.
now we have a Great Dane in the lobby. It's like, where does it end?
Sure.
I don't like it. So I was getting the story
Sorry.
I was going to this girl I was dating in college. She's like, come meet my parents for dinner. So I go over to meet her parents for dinner, and they have 2 old dogs running around, and they got like sores on their body. They're like oozing and shit, and like all my biggest fears are in this room. I'm meeting the family for the first time. They got fucking oozy, hairy fucking animals around. She's serving the food. The dad's handing food off the table to the dog. I'm losing my shit. I'm like sweating bullets. I'm like, I have to eat this. I'm nervous. And I'm meeting the parents for the first time. I was having a full panic attack.
Sure.
With the dogs at the dinner table. I was like sweating bullets. I had to like go for a walk after
So you ate
dinner.
though.
I did, but it was not fun.
Maybe the problem was that the dogs were covered in bullet holes. Who's
these are
shooting
old,
these dogs?
These dogs are hobbling out. Like in my mind, it was like zombies coming out the room. They're like, "Oh yeah, come on, Bella, come on out." And the dogs are like old, one eye's hanging off his body. He's like,
He's trying to eat your pasta.
No good.
Trying to put his snout in your pea soup.
Can't do it, man. And like I really like dogs. Like with my
Sounds like
always grew up
Sounds
with
like
dogs.
you're a huge animal advocate.
I'm telling you, it has nothing to do with liking the dogs. You talk about tennis balls, throwing a tennis ball down the street. I'm there all day. You're talking about going for a walk in the park with a dog.
You'll pick up a sloppy tennis ball that's been in a dog's jibs.
Yep.
Hook it, get the
Come
dog
back.
back all day, and then what do you do with your hand? Do you touch yourself with it? Do you put your hand on your pants?
It has nothing to do. Listen. I can handle all the slobber. I can handle
Just
a muddy dog.
Nowhere near your snacks.
No food around.
Right.
If someone's like, "Oh, you got a slobbery hand. Do you want to have some brie?"
Look, I don't want to keep talking about it for your sake, but just look at the abandonment things.
But there's no abandonment issues. It's
you used to kick your dog out of the house every time you ate. Is it possible that represents something that you're a fear of? These issues are not necessarily they're not conscious. They're subconscious. That means you don't understand them.
But the reason why the dog went out in the first place is because I knew that I didn't want the fucking smelly hairy.
You didn't start that.
Chow hairs coming off from my food.
Your parents did that, and then that became your behavior.
I didn't like it.
Yeah, of course you didn't, because your parents told you not to like it because you followed their behavior and their actions. And now as an adult, you can't eat if there's a fucking Pomeranian 2 blocks away from you.
I don't like it.
All right.
I'll do it, but I don't like it.
Okay. All right.
Now, if it comes to like, if I go over someone's home and there's a dog around, I mean, there's some people have their dog at the table and do all that stuff and eat out in handing. I can't do that.
I love to feed a dog little table scraps because that's like the dog's. That's the best
I'm
time
lost.
in the dog's life.
I'm lost on that.
That's
I can't do
the
it.
Dog's having the best time they've ever had ever. They're getting a little grilled chicken.
No.
Give a little macaroni and cheese to a dog. They're pure heaven. They'll rock hard the entire time.
No, can't do it.
All right.
I wish I could. Because I like dogs.
Yeah.
Playing with them, running around.
It seems like it.
Eating in front of a dog, I feel like I'm normal.
No.
You could eat around any animal?
Well, look, call into Fresh Towels and let us know
Yeah,
if
let
you
me
think
know
this is
if you
weird
think.
or not.
I don't think it's weird. I don't. I think it's weirder to eat in front of an animal.
I think it's weird that you can't eat in front of an animal. If there's an animal within earshot of you, you're like,
no way.
Well, I lost my appetite.
What's the name of the woman who works with the animals? Jane fucking...
Oh, the gorilla lady?
Yeah.
Jane Gorilla?
Jane the gorilla lady.
Jane, yeah. No.
She can eat in front of animals.
She can. She's fucking,
I feel like anyone who
she's
can eat
been
in front of
fed by a gorilla. Not Jane Fonda.
Jane Fonda definitely doesn't eat in front of animals.
Jane Goodall.
Jane Goodall.
Jane Goodall.
Anytime I see someone who's hand feeding an animal, I'm just like, she's Jane Goodalling it.
Jane, hey, when it comes to eating in front of animals, Jane Goodall, it's all good.
She's eaten in front of tons of animals.
She's been fed by animals.
Well, I don't know.
Does it bother you that you're eating an animal while you can't look at? Maybe that's what it is.
maybe I should
maybe
be
you're like, I'm eating one of you, a cousin.
maybe you. Well, I do think there's a double standard on our animal appreciation for sure.
Absolutely.
I mean, you'll slam down a bacon BLT and then like you're like, but don't no one come near my dog. I feel like there's a little bit of a double standard there.
Yeah.
I feel like if you truly are an animal lover, like you got a lot of pets, I think it does make sense that you would be a vegan or a vegetarian.
Sure.
I think that those two things should be more closely related, and they're not. Like you could have a crazy dog lover, goes to the ends of the earth for their dog, but then will like slam a cheeseburger. And
But you got to feed your dog meat. Dogs got to have meat. They're
dogs
got to
eat
have
meat
protein.
too.
So
that's true.
you still, if you're not, I mean, I don't know anything about dogs as far as health and stuff, but I feel like
I guess
you have
that's
to
fair.
give them meat and protein. You can't give your dog tofu. You can't have a vegan dog.
You definitely could.
Yeah, but that's not good for the dog. They're animals.
Dogs
They're
have
primal.
They got to eat meat.
They need the vitamins. They need the nutrients. They need the.
Well, dogs are killers, right? They're wolves.
I mean, I don't know. Come meet my dog.
No, your dog is not a killer.
Dog ain't killing anybody.
No. Well, we've kind of like made them more docile.
For sure. She
But
sleeps
like
22
they
hours a
they
day.
all stem from wolves, which eat. They would just attack. They eat and attack.
Yeah, sure, but man stems from apes, and look at us.
I thought you said gapes.
Apes, the whole thing.
But we ate berries.
That's true.
We were foragers.
Oh, wait, I guess gorillas are vegetarian.
Yeah, they eat sticks.
I guess vegetarian's the wrong word. What's the herbivores?
Herbivores.
That's what is available
Sticks,
to them. Yeah,
whatever's around.
yeah.
Old meat. What's a
and
vulture?
and
Old meat?
Vultures, dead meat.
Dead meat.
Already dead meat. But some
But
animals
what's the
won't
name
eat
for that?
it. Gross.
It's gross.
Siflich or whatever your sauce is.
Sujuk.
Sujuk.
Sujuk is a dead meat. Well, I don't know. We've covered a lot today. Did we do?
Buddy, we're at an hour.
Oh, wow. All right. Well, first episode complete. Can we go to this shot? We were going to show off this thing.
There we go. Hold on.
We'll close out on 2.
Bingo. I was
got
having
it?
I was having too much fun. I stopped working the board.
Thank you guys for tuning in to episode 1 of Fresh Towels. I don't know where this is going to go. We covered a lot of ground today. If you have any insight on some of the things we've talked about today, hit us up at, I don't even have a website. I don't have anything.
You don't have an
Just
email?
hit me up on Instagram. Hit me up on Instagram at Jiggy Comedy. Send me a DM if you have anything pertinent to today's conversation. We're going to continue this as a weekly series until you guys think it's not good anymore, which might be week 3.
Don't let them dictate
No,
it.
I'm going to tell you because everything I do is great. Okay? I have abandonment issues.
There we go. We
Ask
got
my
somewhere today.
dogs. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you with episode 2. Till then, mahalo. Deuces.